Okay, we're doing some exercises here. So if we want to do pi squared, so on this Casio calculator, your pi is shift down here at the bottom. So we're going to do shift this button here, and we end up with pi. And if we want to square it, we've got our x squared button right there. So we have pi squared. We hit equal, and it's probably going to tell us. Okay, it will give us the answer. And now notice, again, this is an irrational number. These actually go on forever, but they fill up your screen. So we can approximate that by rounding this back to whatever decimal place we need. We have 5 times pi. Now you can do 5 times pi, and you can get 5 pi. You can just type in 5 and shift the button for pi. You got 5 pi. Now I know I got 5 pi. I've got it right here, but I want that decimal if I'm using these where we're comparing these in the lesson. So we hit that S to D button, and there's our answer. Okay, again, we got 3 on the square root of 7. This means 3 times the square root of 7. You can do that, 3 times the square root of 7. Or on these calculators, I can just type in 3. I'll hit my square root button, and my 7, hit equal. It's going to tell me that again, 3 on the square root of 7. If I want the decimal so I can locate it on a number line or compare it with something else, in the decimal form, I hit the SD button, and there's my approximation. Okay, now here I want to be careful because I'm going to do the square root of 5 plus the square root of 2. Now I'm going to hit my square root of button and my 5. Now if I keep typing here, everything is going to be under the radical, and I don't want that. So I want to get out from under the radical, so I'm going to use this button up here to get out from under the radical. Hit plus square root of 2. So on these, be careful and look back at your display and make sure that it actually says what you want it to. Now hit equal here. Again, it's going to just tell it to me again. I hit S to D. Now this is 3.65 something something something. Now let me show you what happens if you forget to get out from under your radical. Radical is just the name for this square root thing. So if I do 5 plus square root of 2, and you see how this looks different. This is not what we want. Okay, we're actually taking the square root of 5 plus the square root of 2. All of that's underneath this first square root, and we don't want that. So if we go ahead with that, it's going to give us this decimal. And that's not what we got. Our real answer was 3.65 something. So make sure, if you have an operation like this, an expression like this, that you do this. Another way to do it, you could do the square root of 5 and go ahead and hit equal, and then do plus the square root of 2. Okay? Some way to get out from under the radical so that I'm actually getting both square roots. Okay, now this, when we see it written like this, remember this is one big fraction. I can actually put it in using my fraction button like this, or remember this is just division. I can do the top, divide it by the bottom. And since this one's kind of complicated on the bottom, it might be easier actually to type this in as a fraction. So we're going to do that. We're going to hit our fraction button. Now our cursor's blinking at the top. We've got 4 plus, and we want pi. And we see that on the top. Now we use our little scroll button to go down. And on the bottom we want the square root of 3. Make sure you get arrow over to get out from under that. Plus 2. And now I can see it. It looks exactly like it's written here, and we want to make sure of that so that we get the correct answer of 1.91. Okay, again, you might, if this is complicated, you just want to double check it. You can do the top, 4 plus pi. Now write that down or use your memory buttons, 7.1415. And on the bottom, we've got the square root of 3. Go ahead and hit equal, plus 2, equal 3.73. I forgot the top. 3.73, we're going to remember that, 3.73. Okay, then we're going to just divide that by 3.73, and we get something close to what we had before. Okay, so make sure you enter these. They look exactly like you have them here to get the correct answer on your calculator.